Hey, good evening, everybody. It's time for the TrickTrades video watch list for August 3rd. Let's get into it here. MTBC, this was a winner from today. It has earnings out. It seems really, really strong, and people, I believe, are going to be holding into. It looks like they're holding over earnings and they're buying into earnings. Now, whether they realize there's earnings tomorrow or not, that's a different story. Probably not. Most people don't do the fucking research. So I'm going to be watching come 7:30 a.m. to make a move on this in either direction. IPI, this had a pretty strong day. I mean, it wrapped up and then it bounced off the previous close. It's a real company. It's a real stock. It's interesting. If you look at the daily here, it's downbeaten, but it's starting to lift off the bottom, and it's on breakout. I mean, 311, I believe, is the breakout point from previous highs, and yeah, there's a little tip there from the other day. But yeah, this is it's looking pretty strong, so it's definitely worth a watch for a continuation. RDFN, this thing is amazing. Let's look at the daily chart. This has been nonstop, and it's a shitty company, and it just goes to show how irrational the market can be in a bull market. People want to get a piece of these IPOs. It's like the next big thing. It's just a real estate company, but there's no reason why this can't continue. I mean, it ramped up into the close today and is held into after hours. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. There's lots of range on this either way. So short or long, we'll be looking for setups on it. Groupon isn't a company or a name that I play that often, but yet I have played before. It's kind of it's come out of this cup. You see how there's a cup, and then we got the handle, and now we have the breakout. These usually continue higher. There's nothing in the way of this. Let me pull back a little bit more. Like you guys see, there's really nothing in the way. We have a little bit. It's right on a little bit of resistance right now, and that's it. If this can continue and hit 425 tomorrow, I'll definitely look to go long, and I'll look for a test. I might actually swing this one for a test of previous recent highs, and possibly a push to 5. There is some resistance after that, but I think that this could be pretty decent. It had a really big day though, so if it can't hold this, I'm not going to bother looking. I don't know. It's hard to say. I might look to short it. I haven't decided yet. We'll just kind of play this one by ear, but I'm watching more long. CERS, this has an agreement in place. It's looking strong. It had some volume today, 1.4 million shares. It popped up, so it looks like we're going to gap up tomorrow. It's looking strong. Like the 15-minute chart here looks really good, and it kept flagging and then breaking out, right? So it's looking pretty good for a long on this one. We'll see. I mean, it needs to break out over basically 42, and then we can get a retest of highs, right? So there's not a lot of money on it, like cent wise, but we'll see. Now FTR, this one tested the 1850s area and rejected. It tried to make a move for it and couldn't, and then it pulled back, and then it kind of double bottomed here, and then it made its way to VWAP. So we could actually look for a continuation. If you look, it's a fairly recent reverse split, and these can trap a lot of shorts. Okay, that's why I love these plays. So it's on breakout. I mean, it's on breakout. It held the 17. Let's see what happens. I mean, if 17 can hold this thing, it can move, man. You know. DVAX. Now this is more of a daily chart setup. The dip got bought back up. If this can break highs of today, we're gonna start having some shorts covering. Definitely. Shorts are going to start panicking. There's lots of shorts back in this. They all got stopped out. Now they're looking to take it down short again for the ones that still have an account. So I'm looking for the 16 to hold, and then a re-ramp. I really think, especially if we get over this 1725 level, boom, she's going to rock it. And so I definitely want to watch that. Apple, I'm still watching just because there's still lots of range. There's a big gap to fill. I think it's going to probably fill a gap down to 54, or at least very close. So there should be another red day. It's going to be really choppy though. We'll watch what the market does. ETRM. Now I'll pull up the daily on here so you can see it's low volume though, guys. But I do want to point something out. Okay. I'm just going to move this. We'll put that here. So this line in the sand here, this support that's been holding for a while has broken. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. We're moving back to levels that it hasn't been as low as since January, since this big run up where I fucking rode this bitch all the way and fucking just, this was actually the biggest trade I've ever been in to date. Soon to be broken though. I've scaled up, so that should be small potatoes now, but regardless, this was the biggest trade I've ever had. Ended up catching that and riding it up. Anyways, so this is a big deal that this support has broken. I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. It's low volume. Like if you look at the volume, it's under its daily average volume, of course, because it only does well when there's a green day, and but I mean, regardless. It could be a swing short. We'll see how much borrows are. So basically, guys, that's what I have. I've got a couple other plays kind of in mind, but nothing set in stone. So we'll talk about them in the morning. All right, guys, have a good evening, and I'll see you in the AM.